Have you ever, really ever paused for a second and just wondered what is going on behind those unassuming little orange eyes of a chicken?
It's a great question for a deep dive, because the way we see the world with our eyes facing straight ahead,
Like headlights on a car.
exactly like headlights, that's one very specific evolutionary strategy. The chicken, well, it's committed to a totally different one.
Right. And so our mission today is to take all these sources you provided, the stuff on neural development, tetrachromacy, all of it, and just explore the really complex science of their vision.
And I think you'll find it's a masterpiece.
I think so too. By the end of this, you will never look at a chicken the same way.
It really all starts with something simple: eye placement.
Okay, so let's unpack that first. Forward-facing eyes. That's us, wolves, eagles,
Visitors.
predators. And the main benefit there is what? Depth perception.
It's all about maximizing that binocular overlap. It gives you that precise triangulation you need to strike at prey. It's all about precision.
But if you're the one being hunted,
If you're prey, precision is a luxury. Survival comes first.
vigilance.
Complete vigilance. You have to see danger coming from literally every angle all at once. And that's why animals like deer, rabbits, and of course chickens have those eyes on the sides of their heads.
So they basically sacrifice that really high-def central vision for just a massive field of view.
And when you look at the numbers, you see just how massive it is. I mean, we humans, we have a total visual field of about 180 degrees.
And only, 120 of that is seen by both eyes?
Right. The chicken is on a completely different level. They're working with around 300 degrees of total vision.
300.
And depending on the breed, that can even push past 330 degrees.
That's almost a full circle.
It is. It means the chicken sees almost everything around it all at the same time. The only blind spot is this tiny, tiny area directly behind its head.
So if you, our listener, ever try to sneak up on a chicken, good luck.
You'll find it's pretty much impossible. That bird is literally watching you with one eye, even when its body is completely turned away from you.
It's not just a defense mechanism. It's a whole 300-degree defense system.
It's on all the time.
So the eye placement is for survival, that's clear. But the real genius, I think, is in the hardware, how they use those two eyes independently.
Yes, monocular specialization. This is where it gets really fascinating because it gets into their brain function.
So because the eyes are on the sides, the information from each one goes to the opposite side of the brain, right?
Exactly. And since there's so little overlap, each eye is basically processing a completely separate visual scene.
They're visually multitasking all the time. Doesn't that, risk some kind of cognitive overload? How does the brain decide what to focus on?
That's where the specialization comes in. The research shows a really clear functional asymmetry.
They assign different jobs to each eye.
They literally do.
Okay, so lay out the assignment sheet for us. What does each eye do?
The right eye is dominant for all the detailed close-up work. It handles identifying tiny food particles, that kind of thing. The precision pecking.
Okay, so the right eye is looking for dinner.
While the left eye is the surveillance system. It's constantly scanning the horizon, the sky, looking for any potential threats.
A hawk circling overhead.
A hawk, a shadow, any sudden movement. So when a chicken is pecking at the ground, it's not oblivious at all. One eye is hunting for seeds while the other is standing guard.
The ultimate multitasker.
It really is.
And the most mind-blowing part of this is that it isn't learned behavior. This is hardwired before they even hatch.
It's prenatal programming. It's beautiful. Inside the egg, the embryo actually positions itself so the right eye gets exposed to light that filters through the shell,
While the left eye is tucked away in the dark.
tucked right against the body. And that asymmetrical light exposure is the trigger. It activates different neural pathways for each eye.
So by the time it hatches, the software is already installed.
The visual system is already calibrated. Right eye for detail, left eye for surveillance. It's ready to go from day one.
That's an incredible advantage. It speaks to the constant evolutionary pressure they must have been under.
They have to be ready instantly. There's no time for a learning curve.
Okay, now we have to talk about color. Because this is where we humans really have to, get a little humble.
We do. We're trichromats. We have 3 types of color receptors or cones in our eyes: red, green, and blue.
And the chicken.
The chicken is a tetrachromat. They have 4 types of tones, not 3.
And that fourth cone is the game changer. It detects ultraviolet light, UV light.
A part of the spectrum that is completely 100% invisible to us.
So they're not just seeing more colors. It's like they're seeing an entire dimension of color that we literally can't even imagine.
It completely changes how they see the world. There was a big study in 2007 that showed birds can see color combinations that to us look completely identical.
So give us a practical example. A green leaf. To me, it's just green.
But to a chicken, that same leaf might be covered in complex UV patterns that tell it if an insect is hiding underneath or if a berry is perfectly ripe.
It's like a built-in augmented reality system highlighting all the important stuff.
Exactly. It's information that is totally hidden from us.
So all the effort we put into, matching our clothes is completely lost on them.
Completely. And that UV vision is also absolutely critical for their social lives.
How so?
Well, their feathers reflect UV light in all these intricate patterns we can't see.
So they're using it to decode their social world.
Precisely. They use it to assess mates because UV reflection can signal good health. They use it to recognize individuals to establish the pecking order.
Wow.
One study looked at over 300 bird species, and every single family they examined had UV reflective plumage.
So when a mother hen looks at her little yellow chicks, who all look identical to us,
She might be seeing totally different UV signatures on each one, allowing her to tell them apart instantly.
we are functionally colorblind compared to them.
In a very real sense, yes.
Let's move on to some of the mechanics. The chicken's eye has some pretty amazing protective gear.
The nictitating membrane.
I think of it as nature's built-in safety goggles.
That's a great way to put it. It's a translucent third eyelid that sweeps horizontally across the eye.
So it protects and moistens the eye, but because it's see-through, they don't lose sight of what's going on.
Exactly. They can be dust bathing or scratching in the dirt and still keep an eye out for predators. Vigilance is never sacrificed.
Which is so important because of their, flicker fusion rate?
Their flicker fusion rate, yes, it's another crucial adaptation.
Explain that for us. It's about how quickly they perceive motion, right?
Yeah.
Humans process things at about 60 frames per second.
And anything faster than that just becomes a blur. A chicken's rate is over 100 frames per second.
So a hawk diving out of the sky.
To them, it's seen with much greater clarity. They perceive rapid movements with a kind of temporal resolution we just don't have. It gives them lightning-fast reaction times.
So to a chicken, a standard fluorescent light bulb wouldn't look steady at all,
Not at all. To them, it would look like a constant, rapid strobe light.
which must be incredibly stressful in, say, a farming operation.
It can be a huge source of stress. It's a survival mechanism that becomes a liability in an artificial world.
A trade-off. But for all these incredible strengths, the huge view, the colors, the speed, there's a major weakness, an Achilles heel.
They are basically blind in the dark.
Why is that? With all this advanced visual tech, why does it all just shut down at night?
It comes back to the retina's architecture. It is packed, absolutely jam-packed, with cones for that amazing daytime color vision.
But that came at the expense of the rods, the receptors for low-light vision.
Exactly. They prioritize daylight performance over everything else. So once the sun goes down, their whole system effectively fails. They're incredibly vulnerable.
Which explains the instinct to return to the coop at dusk every single night.
They know they're helpless. It's why predators, human or otherwise, have always operated at night if they want to catch a chicken. They become easy targets.
Okay, so they sacrificed wide binocular vision for that 300-degree view, but they didn't get rid of depth perception entirely, did they?
No, not at all. They just use the bare minimum required for their primary job.
Which is pecking.
Right. They have a very narrow zone of depth perception, maybe 25 to 30 degrees, right in front of their beak.
And that's all they need.
It's precisely calibrated. When it spots a seed, it moves its head to place the target in that little binocular sweet spot.
And that gives the brain just enough data to calculate the distance for a perfect strike.
It's the definition of minimum viable depth perception. It's not a flaw, it's just hyper-specialized for foraging.
It's a utility-driven system. But to wrap this up, we have to touch on something that suggests their sensory world is even stranger than we talked about.
This is the really cutting-edge stuff. We're talking about magnetoreception.
The idea that they can sense the Earth's magnetic field.
Not just sense it. Some research suggests they might actually be able to see it.
See it? How?
The theory is that it might appear as a sort of visual overlay across their field of view, maybe patterns of light and shadow or shifts in color.
So they're navigating with a built-in compass that's part of their vision.
It's still a developing field, but the implication is just huge, that they possess sensory experiences so far beyond anything we can relate to.
So let's just recap. We started with a humble chicken, and we found a creature that's tracking movement in nearly 300 degrees, seeing colors we can't imagine, using each eye for a different job.
And whose entire visual system was programmed for survival before it even hatched.
It's truly incredible.
Evolution spent millions of years engineering that bird. And it raises a bigger question, I think. What other organisms do we just casually dismiss, that we think are simple?
But whose sensory worlds are richer and more complex than our own.
Exactly. Maybe that humble chicken deserves a second look, with the understanding that its reality is fundamentally different from ours.
I think that's a perfect place to end. The next time you see one, just remember, its world is far more colorful and complex than you ever realized.